Welcome back to the Master Your Mindset podcast. I know this is a really random time of the week to be uploading a podcast episode, but there is a very special reason for that. I have come together in collaboration with Lisa Trouwborst, where we are going to be giving to you a special bonus episode at the beginning of every single month. So Lisa is going to be doing a full tarot and oracle card reading for you that is going to represent the things that you need to know for the month ahead. So this is very, very exciting. We're going to put this out on the first of each month. So stay tuned for all of those. But let's just dive straight into the first bonus episode. Firstly, Lisa, can you please introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you so much for allowing me to do this on your podcast, Jessie. I'm super excited. I'm Lisa Trouwborst. I'm from the Netherlands, and I have been reading tarot since 2020. Right after I had a burnout, I learned about tarot, and I never let it go ever since. I have my own Etsy store, and these days I'm teaching other women how to read tarot cards themselves without doubting their intuition.
Incredible. This is perfect. I'm so excited for these bonus episodes. So, when you're ready, let's get straight into it. And, for the ones listening at home, I hope you're ready for some magic to happen. Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, let's go. So the reading is divided in two sections. We're first going to look at the overall energy of March, and the second part is more a message from the month March itself. And so when we think about March, I always get a bit of butterflies because March is kind of like the month we start to bloom again. We have the spring equinox on the 20th of March, and things start to live again. It's not as gloopy and rainy if you're in Europe like me. And we actually start to see the sun after 3 months. I know that's a bit exaggerated, but for me, it feels like don't see the sun for half a year. So I'm super excited. The first card we're starting with is the Death card in reverse. So, and with this card, you kind of have to think about everything you don't want to take with you from February, from all the months, from all the previous months, and start thinking about what you do want to take with you in March. So March is kind of going to give you this big push in your back. It's going to throw you off the cliff and say like, okay, you've had your time. You didn't want to create the change yourself. So now we are creating the change for you. Sometimes we don't want change in our life because, of course, it's scary. We don't know what to expect and we want to be in control. And the death card in reverse is it's inevitable. Change is already inevitable, but right now March is really going to push you forward in a few projects that are going to be really important, and you will see most of the fruits of your labors around September. That's what I'm feeling. So with the death in reverse, I was wondering like, okay, so what are we talking about? What do we need to let go of? And then I got the Empress card in reverse, also reverse card. The Empress card upright normally is all about fertility, femininity, nurturing yourself, nurturing others. She is Mother Gaia, aka Earth. She's really connected with nature. She does all of these things. And when she's in reverse, she kind of forgets to nurture herself. So self love is definitely going to be a major aspect of March. Taking care of yourself is going to be the priority. And with the Empress, which is something that in reverse, which is something a lot of people oversee, is that we are kind of feeling creative blocks. And so I know this for me to be true. I felt very creatively blocked in January, or and halfway through January after all my intentions and goals were set. And I needed to start doing it. And the change was all happening very, very fast. These blocks start to come naturally. These happen in your mindset. Sometimes they happen outside of you, and so it's time for these blocks um, to evaporate. That's kind of what the death card is going to push you to do. So we want to let go of these creative blocks that you are having, and we want to do that by having a stronger connection with ourselves and with nature. So going out more, being more expressive, not staying inside all the time, not being on your socials all the time, not needing to share everything. Just go and put your feet on the grass and enjoy nature. Look at the birds flying around and take your time to soak up all of these things. That is how your creative blocks are going to slowly make space for more creativity because not all blocks have to disappear. Not all blocks do disappear, but we want to make more space for other creative projects and ideas to come in. So this is really about birthing new ideas. As she's so fertile, we want to bring birth to new ideas. So if you're an entrepreneur, now is a great time to push yourself into this project that you have been procrastinating. Maybe you have been thinking about one that's waiting in your notes app. Let's start with birthing it. What can you do to let it come out of you, let it flow out of you? Maybe if you are like me, you need to talk about it with someone. Send yourself voice memos. If you love journaling, start writing these things down. Record yourself on Zoom. There are so many things you can do, but the more that you talk, the more your intuition is going to have space to flow through you. And the more ideas are going to come out of your mouth, and you're going to be like, oh, was that me? Yes, that was you. We want these things to come out. And so we have, as a third card, we have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is, it's such a, I love this card. It's such a cute card. This also confirms the creativity. She's very creative. This has a lot of romance as well, imagination and beauty. So the Knight of Cups is always the one in the movies, the romantic knight that protects the princess and ends up with her, that kind of story. And so he's very into his imagination and into his creativity. He imagines the fun little presents that he can give to the princess, essentially. And so this is more related to yourself. March is going to surprise you. March is going to be a month where you get to romanticize your life again. Because, we are celebrating the new year, but the new year's, in my eyes, starts when spring equinox happens. And so when that does happen, all of the things start to flourish and you see flowers and the birds are coming back, even the butterflies, which the butterfly is a special meaning in this deck, a special meaning in this reading. It all comes back. It all comes back to you. And so it's a really good time with the Empress in reverse to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, and romanticize your life. The more you're going to romanticize your life, like I said, going to these parks or places that inspire you, the more space you're going to have for creativity in itself. And that's what we want. That's clearly what the month of March is going to bring you. And then the last card, the fourth card, which of course she could never have not spoken in this reading, is the High Priestess. And this has everything to do with your intuition, sacred knowledge, divine feminine energy, and your subconscious mind. So when it comes to the High Priestess, she's so intuitive. She's kind of the oracle. She's kind of the oracle. So she is here in the now. She's super grounded, but she also knows that there is more out there. She's connected to what else is out there in the universe. She's connected with her heart. She listens to her intuition and she allows herself to be guided by it. And that is very important when you want to go through these changes. Since you don't know what is going to happen and you don't have control over the outcome, you want to start listening to your intuition and follow the inner guidance, the inner wisdom that it's providing you with, because that's ultimately the goal. You want to create stuff, whether you are an entrepreneur or not, that are resonating with you, that you love, something that nourishes you, something that really feeds your energy, something that, when you think about it, you start to get all excited and your energy starts to buzz and you're like, oh my God, I really want this to get out there in the world. So that's what we want with the High Priestess. And so if you are a tarot reader yourself, or you are spiritual, this is a really good time to check in with your guides, to ask what you need to hear right now. Maybe pull cards for yourself. Sacred knowledge doesn't always come from within, even though you hold a lot of knowledge in your intuition. Sometimes you need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a third party or a second party, if you're alone. And that resonates. Hold on to this card because it resonates with the second message that the month of March is going to give you. And to close off this energy reading, I pulled an oracle card from the Spirit Animal Oracle card. You're going to love this, Jessie. It is the butterfly. It's the butterfly spirit. And the butterfly spirit stands for transformation is beautiful. So I'm going to read from the guidebook what the message essentially is. The oracle message is joy and the beauty, lightness of being alive and creative in the world is focused when the butterfly spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of this form of your life that no longer fits the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously, and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle, aka your soul wants to experience through you. Today is a day of joy. So alight. Look around you and see the beauty that's everywhere and in everyone, including in you. I think that that's the perfect card to end this energy reading with, because it's kind of like confirming everything that we talked about through tarot. It's the transformation, it's the change, it's the creativity that's going to flow. Butterflies have their own rebirth process. So you're about to be rebirthed and going to birth your own ideas and creative projects.
Mm, that is so good. Thank you so much. And you're right. I loved that last card, the butterfly. If you're new around here, the butterfly is my guide, like my sign. So every time I see a butterfly, I know I'm on the right path. It's my sign from my mom. And I just love that so, so much. So essentially, what I'm taking from this, like the immediate actions that I'm taking, is finding the things that are blocking me from my creativity, from that wisdom, whether that be internal wisdom or external wisdom. It's like finding those blocks and letting them go. So to allow me to like flutter like a butterfly and evolve and just let it all come out and happen. I love that so much.
And the blockages are going to make a lot more sense as we are diving more specific in the message of March, because it has a lot to do with teamwork and surrendering to things you cannot change. And that is going to, well, help you in your mindset. It's going to help you release some stuff. The more you surrender, the more you let go of things, the easier and quicker you will attract the things you actually want and the things you desire for your life. So if you are ready, let's dive into the second part.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's go. So we're starting with the Ace of Wands. So inspiration, new opportunities, the urge to create, desire, enthusiasm, growth, and vitality. This card is such a nice and promising card because the wands stand for passion and energy. And so where you point your energy towards, that's where it's going to flow. Where you point your energy, it's going to flow. Regardless of what you are going to focus on, use it in combination with your passion. So if you have no idea, if you're like, okay, well, this all sounds great and promising, but like I don't have any ideas right now, what is lighting you up from the inside out? What are some things you're really passionate about? What is something that you haven't shared with anyone yet that wants to come out there in the world, but you're a bit nervous about sharing? So the aces essentially stand for new beginnings. And with the Ace of Wands, you're kind of being handed your own energy back. Hey, take a look at your own energy, take the wand, and go on the journey. The wands I always associated with older people that walk with a stick in the forest. They use it to navigate themselves, they use it to guide themselves. So go ahead with your stick and guide yourself on this new journey. There is so much inspiration and so many new opportunities that are awaiting for you. So don't stay inside. Like I said, the park, the beaches, everything comes to life again. Go outside and explore again. The time of being in your inner world, of staying inside, of doing their very intense shadow work, maybe even, is going to come to a close. And that's normal. Like I said, I've explained the spring equinox, or I've mentioned it a couple of times right now. It's the time where everything starts to bloom. And that means that we go outside a lot more because the weather is nice and it changes. So take all the lessons you've learned in this long winter period and start to use them in spring. Use everything you've learned about yourself. This new version of yourself is ready to come out, is ready to start to play, is ready to meet new people. Because when you meet new people with a new version of you, things are becoming more exciting for you and you're more able to focus on the things that you actually like instead of always looking at the things you don't like, and you get to make decisions easier and quicker because you are more connected to your intuition. And that is where the creativity is going to play out in this month. And then we have the King of Cups, which is personally my favorite card. The King of Cups is a supportive leader, good advice, very diplomatic, wise, calm, caring, and loyal. And so when I think of the King of Cups, it's kind of like a leader that is not toxic, that is not very pushy, that is going to push you in the right directions, but in a kinder way, in a softer way. He's very connected with his emotions. Water always stands for emotions. It's about overflowing your cups. And since the king has mastered their emotions, has mastered the art of leading, he's very well able to even lead himself and the people that he surrounds himself with without needing to be unkind or harmful. He can give you the flow and the balance that you need in your life to achieve whatever you desire. So when I think of water, water has so much duality. It can go, it can flow, it can create destruction. And that's why I said the death card with the change is the destruction that you're going to essentially need. But in this reading, you are being called to lead yourself. Even if you are feeling afraid, even if you're like, I'm not sure if I can do this, even if you're a little bit anxious about these things, find a way to go for it, even if you are feeling all of these things. Just because he's a king doesn't mean that he doesn't feel anxiety, doesn't mean that he doesn't feel any nervousness about the new things that he's going to do or the way that he's going to lead, but he leads himself regardless of what he is feeling. And that is where you create the emotional balance that this card is talking about. Yes, I can feel this, and I can take a moment to sit with myself and ask, why am I feeling this way? And do I need to do something with it? And then there's also the action that comes forth from it. So let's go. Let's not stay still and go for the opportunities that the Ace of Wands has been promising you. And so I know I talked a bit about intuition and these creative blocks, and there are three cards that are so intertwined, it was a bit scary. So let's look at them. The first one is the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork, collaboration, learning, and skills, goals, and security. Sometimes we want to be a little bit too independent and we don't want to ask for any help, or we don't want to look at the advice that other people are giving us because I'm an independent woman and I can do this on my own and I don't need anyone. It's kind of the Empress in reverse. She's maybe a little bit too independent at times. It's okay to work together with people. You need to learn from someone. Of course, you can learn all of these things yourself and you can Google, but you're also learning it from someone else. So within the month of March, it's very important to embrace the help that you are now rejecting. And this might be the change that you need with the Death card in reverse. It is the teamwork, because right now, what I'm seeing is the Ten of Cups in reverse. It is disconnection, disharmony, misalignment, struggling with relationship and conflict. And it resonates a lot with the second card, which is the Seven of Wands in reverse. And so the Seven of Wands talks about compromises, teamwork, giving up, defeat, self-doubt, and weak boundaries. So we talk a lot about setting boundaries with other people, but I feel like we don't talk enough about setting boundaries with yourself. And accepting help can be difficult, but in order for you to move forward, in order for you to create the life that you desire, you sometimes need to set the boundary with yourself and say, hey, it's okay to be independent at sometimes, but now it's time to let it go. I need to ask for help, and that's okay. You are not weak. There's nothing wrong with you for asking for help. And so where you have been battling so much with the Seven of Wands upright, it's kind of time to surrender. It's time to let it go. It's time to ask for the help and compromise. This can be a compromise with yourself. It can even be a compromise with your partner or your job, because the disharmony and the disconnect of the Ten of Cups can be in so many areas of your life. And so I know Jesse's really good with this. Go ahead and look at the wheel of your life and see where you're feeling like things are not working out for you. Where are you feeling like things could be better? and take a look at that, because those are the places where you need to start working with yourself. Those might also be the places that are adding to your creative blocks. And so it's time to let that go. It's time to acknowledge that you are exhausted from fighting, that you don't need to fight anymore, and surrender. Surrender. And with surrendering, I mean acknowledge the fact that you have been feeling disconnected from your mission, or acknowledge that you're not feeling in harmony with your partner, or that your job is not aligning with your values anymore, and that certain relationships are not working out for you. You cannot always change people, but you can change the things that you do yourself and the actions that you take. So stop choosing for conflict and start setting boundaries that align with your values. And you can do that in any area of your life. There's no reason not to do it, honestly. And then we have three more cards, and two of them are an oracle cards. And this one is from the Woodlands Warden oracle deck. And the first card is the Bear and Cedar, which is all about leadership. And how funny is that we have the King of Cups, which is also about leadership. So leading yourself this month is going to be very, very, very important. Let me get the guidebook. The Bear and Cedar calls us to be powerful and benevolent, embodying the qualities of a great leader. Bears are emperors of the woodlands and the guardians of the forest. Paired with cedar, a plant known for its healing, protective, and cleansing qualities, these cards invite us to mature authority. The spirit of the bear is guiding you to leadership opportunities and reminding you to rule with fairness and care. And this oracle deck always asks you a question, which is really good. And the question is, how can I be a better leader? And who can benefit from my knowledge and experiences? So leadership, leading yourself, leading other people is very important for this month. So don't be scared to take decisions for yourself that align with your values and not with other people's. If you need to move away from situations, if you need to cut people off, March is going to be a great time to do so, because you want to be in another place in a few months. You don't want to be stuck in this place where you are right now, where you don't have any boundaries with people, where people are walking all over you, where you're not getting the promotion, people are not seeing you on your social media. It's time to lead yourself. So kick yourself under the ass. And if you don't have enough power to do that, or you feel like you need some help, seek for help, whether that's from a coach or your friends. Ask for help. Like I said again, you are not weak. It's not not bad to ask for help. And then the second card is the duck and the chrysanthemum, which stands for luck. And this is such a cool card. I love this card. The phrase lucky duck isn't just a light-hearted rhyme. Ducks can be symbols of good fortune. In ancient Egypt, ducks were associated with riches, especially gold, and frequently given as offerings to the gods. Likewise, chrysanthemums bursting forth with long and elegant petals signify abundance. Luck with a fickle and mystery force, but it also is, as Roman philosopher Seneca once mused, what happens when preparation meets opportunities. You are at the brink of good fortune. Be open to situations that may bring about positive transformation. And then the card asks you, how can I prepare for the future? Is destiny mutable or set in stone? So this card is kind of confirming the bear. Where do you want to go? Is your destiny already set in stone? It's not, because you can always choose where you want to go, how you want to live your life. You can change your life with a flick of a switch if you really want to. So just to close this off, teamwork is going to be very important. Stop trying to be independent in everything you do. It's great to be independent in some areas of your life, but March is all about teamwork. In ancient Greek, March would be the month where they would start to work all together in the garden, and all of the flowers would start to bloom in spring, at the end of spring and the beginning of summer. If they didn't work together, there would have been a lot less flowers rather than when they work together. And you can skip steps of, I'm talking weeks, months, years, when you start to work with someone that is more knowledgeable than you, someone that can actually give you the help that you desire to create something that you love, because you don't want to be stuck in a life or living a life that you don't align with or associate with more anymore. And every single day is a new opportunity for you to create something new for yourself. It's a day to be 1% better. So take that, make that your mission to do something every single day that's going to make you feel good at the end of the day, something that you can be proud of. And then to close this off, I have some very cool cards that I recently bought. The mindset cards, and these are journal editions. Daily prompts cards to encourage self-reflection. And so I already have given you many self-reflection prompts from the Oracle deck, but this card, I just felt called to include it. And the question on this card is, what one thing could you do every day to take you closer to your goals? I mean, that's not a coincidence. So, what can you do to get closer to your goals? You don't need to reach your goals in one day. You can simply start by setting up your notes, start planning, maybe start looking for help, talking about it if you are independent and you don't want to share anything. There is so much available to you, but it's you who needs to lead yourself to take the first step.
Oh, that was so healing. The feeling or the word that's coming to my mind that ties all of that in together, because those messages tie in so beautifully together, it's this word. It's courage. It's courage to lead yourself. It's courage to change the things that are feeling heavy within certain areas of your life. It's the courage to ask for help.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because a lot of the messages that you bring up in that I can already see happening within my life at the moment.
Yes, of course. And it's so funny you mentioned the courage, because that's what I use. I call it the three C's. So courage, confidence, and commitment. And use all of these three tools that you have inside of you to push yourself to a life that you actually love to live. You can do
Mm.
it.
And with the guidance of those cards and the messages, we have our game plan. We know what we need to do. We have that courage. We're building it up as well, and we're going to do it. I love those messages so much, and I loved the cards too. They were very, very, very cool.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time I'll use your Oracle deck.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. Can you please tell us, for the ones that are looking for some more insights within their life and more personalized readings for them, please tell us where we can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Witchy Ways by Lisa. And I have a beautiful stand store forefront where you can buy four types of readings from me. One is a message from your spirit guides. You can also request a custom reading. I also do live readings on Zoom, so one-on-one, a time where you can ask all the questions you have on your mind and get so much clarity, and a to-do list, because that's what I find most important, to start living, like I said, the life that you want, or taking the actions, getting the desired outcome of your goals. And lastly, the last one is super special. It's for all the entrepreneurs, and it's called Let's Get Down to Business. And it's a longer reading where we dive into your strengths and we can look at how you can maximize them in your business, to create more abundance, to create more alignment for yourself. It's kind of like the confidence boost with the three C's that you need. Other than those readings, I also, if you're a reader yourself and you want to feel more confident in reading tarot and want to be able to do what I do, I can also help you with private coaching. And you can also find it with the link in my stand store.
Incredible. Thank you so much for that. And once again, thank you for doing a collective reading for us all in March. To the audience back or listening to this right now, please come over to Instagram and send us a DM. We love to hear your feedback. We love to hear your takeaways, your ahas, your breakthroughs, even throughout the month of March, as you start to notice some of these messages, coming into you, whether it be like the middle of March, towards the end. These messages will be with you. You can ponder on them throughout the entirety of March, and you will start to see how they can resonate within your life and the time and the certain times. So we want to hear all of it. We love it. We want to hear your feedback. Come over and message us on Instagram.
Yes, super exciting. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I'm
Yeah.
super excited to do this every month.
Thank you very much. We'll see you all next month. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a 5-star rate and review, because this helps this podcast get up in the algorithm so we can share the messages far and wide. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week.